News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Dan Schwartzman. We check the markets for you all day long here at Bloomberg. Stocks rallied after President Trump announced the framework of a trade deal with the UK and expressed optimism about upcoming talks with China. The S&P 500 finishing up 0.6%. The Nasdaq ended up over 1%, while the Dow is up over 0.6%. Meanwhile, the 10-year Treasury yield is at 4.4%, and the 2-year yield is at 3.9%. The price of oil currently hovering just over $60 a barrel. Labor Department data shows that jobless claims fell 13,000 to 228,000 in the week ending May 3rd, compared with median estimates of 230,000. CNBC reports that Warner Brothers Discovery is moving towards splitting up the company. The report says that the linear cable networks would definitely be split off, while the studio unit would be coupled with Max. An announcement is expected in the near future. White smoke emerged as the 133 Roman Catholic cardinal electors selected a new pope to lead the world's 1.4 billion Catholics.
Annuncio vobis gaudium magnum. Habemus papam.
69-year-old Chicago native Cardinal Robert Prevost becoming the first American-born pope in history. Prevost was made a cardinal by Pope Francis back in 2023 and was brought to the Vatican to serve as the powerful head of the office that vets bishop nominations from around the world. Union Theological Seminary professor Mary Boyce says Prevost has global experience.
The fact that he was in South America, in Peru for a long time, that he chose to speak in Spanish and to refer to the people of his diocese there. I think these are all signals that this is a man who has a global vision in a time when there is so much division in our world, within our nations, but also between our nations.
That's Mary Boyce speaking with Bloomberg's Balance of Power. Prevost has chosen the name of Leo XIV. President Trump, meanwhile, announcing today a trade framework has been reached with the United Kingdom. Trump broke down some of the highlights.
The deal includes billions of dollars of increased market access for American exports, especially in agriculture, dramatically increasing access for American beef, ethanol, and virtually all of the products produced by our great farmers.
Trump also says that full details of the package would still be negotiated over the next few weeks. According to a government statement, the UK says the U.S. tariffs on steel has been, quote, reduced to 0 from 25%, while U.S. tariffs on automotives are immediately slashed from 27.5% to 10% applicable on a quota of 100,000 cars. Meanwhile, according to Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, Boeing is poised to be a big beneficiary of a trade deal with the UK.
What you're going to hear today is there's going to be an announcement at the UK that they are buying $10 billion worth of Boeing planes.
That's Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick. President Trump also discussed trade talks between the U.S. and China set to begin this weekend, saying that tariffs could be lowered from the current 145%. Trump was optimistic when asked by Bloomberg's Anne-Marie Hordern.
I think we're going to have a good weekend with China. I think they have a lot to gain. I do think they have far more to gain than we do in a sense, but we're going to have I think we're going to have a very good weekend.
Will you speak to Xi after the weekend talks?
I might, yeah, sure.
Meanwhile, the European Union is planning to hit U.S. exports with additional tariffs as the European Commission, the EU's executive arm that handles trade matters, is kickstarting negotiations with the U.S. this week. Around £95 billion worth of goods would be hit, including U.S.-made cars and bourbon, as well as Boeing aircraft. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen says that the EU, quote, remains fully committed to finding negotiated outcomes with the U.S. The proposal will be discussed by member states and other stakeholders through June 10th and could change before being finalized. President Trump is pushing lawmakers to increase tax rates, proposing a new 39.6% tax bracket for individuals earning at least $2.5 million or couples making $5 million to offset other cuts in his economic package. The president made the request in a phone call to House Speaker Mike Johnson. Trump also wants to eliminate the carried interest tax break claimed by venture capital and private equity fund managers as he looks to find a way to pay for a multi-trillion-dollar package to extend his 2017 tax cuts. India says it was able to defend against a missile and drone attack by Pakistan aimed at military stations in the north of the country near the border. The Indian Army also says Pakistan attacked several other locations along the western borders using drones. The attacks are in response to Indian airstrikes against terrorist targets in Pakistan after the killing of dozens of Indian tourists in Kashmir last month. That's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Dan Schwartzman, and this is Bloomberg.